my dear friends and net aspirants, welcome back to High Point, and in this video we'll be seeing yet another point relevant in cultural studies, the information society. So about information society we'll learn some points, and if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel if you want more contents related to NTA, UGC, NET, JRF, English language and literature. For the same, you can follow me on Instagram. My ID is Lijimaria90, and there in the story session, in the reel session, as well as in the feed session, we are providing lot of variety of materials. And also, if you want to have more serious and well arranged, simplified and affordable study materials, you can visit my website www.highpoint.in, in which we are providing 300 plus downloadable PDFs and also 900 plus audio lectures and previous and practice question papers, which I lively attempt to pull. If you want to know more anything related to the course materials that we are providing, the fee structure and the free bonuses that we are providing in here, you can use the Instagram ID. You can use the Instagram ID as well as you can use this WhatsApp number in order to reach out to me. If you have any doubts regarding any of the materials that we are providing, you can also ask me using these platforms. Okay, so don't forget to visit my website and have the free trial and see whatever we have provided there. Even if you are studying on your own, this can guide you to the right things that you have to cover for your NET JRF English language and literature exam. Moving on, let's have some points related to the information society. What is an information society and what are the characteristics of information society? See, in the previous video we have seen how information is relevant in the post-industrial society. See, those who have information about the clients, the consumers of a product, they have more upper hand in here in the post-industrial society, where the product is more customized, where the product is more oriented towards the need of the customer, and it is niche based. See, I have already mentioned some examples in the previous video. If you have missed the previous videos, you can have all of them in the I button. I have made all the videos related to cultural studies into a playlist. You can have in the I button and go to that and see what we have discussed in the previous video, in the very previous video. Okay, and in there I have mentioned an example of shampoo, how shampoo is customized. If you have red hair fall, you have a particular kind of shampoo. If you have split ends, you have a particular kind of other shampoo. Then if you have other problems like dandruff, like any other problems, then you have in the same brand you'll have different kind of shampoos. Then in that way it became more customer oriented, more niche oriented. So that is information. For in order to make that, you need information of the need of the customers, information about the pain points of the customers, information about the habit of the customers. And who have this information? Many other people who work in education sector, people who work in health sector, they know these details, and they became the new intelligentsia of the post-industrial society. Okay, so here Frank Webster suggests that the information society can be defined in 5 ways. You have at least you have 5 ways under 5 category, or under 5 ways you can you can define information society, and these are some of the 5 characteristics of information society. First one is technological. It suggests that development, it is not on, it is in developments in information processing, storage and transmission have led to the large scale and ever interesting application of IT in everyday life. See, we all are using IT. So we are using IT, we are using phone, we are using various gadgets in which IT is important. We are searching many things in internet and we are using apps. So all our habits, all our way of using this information and IT is processed, storage and transmitted for various other purposes. So technological usage is one of the way that we can understand, we can define information society. It sees the convergence of telecommunications and computing and increasing linkage between banks, homes, offices, factories, shops, and educational institutions. So you can see this technological element. We can see here a convergence, coming together of telecommunications at same time computing in the sense, how far you are using this for processing this information. You have to compute, right? How far, how what all time. See, in my Instagram page, since it is a business page, you can find insights where I'll find, for a post, whoever have seen this, whether they are the followers, non-followers, gender of the viewers, time of the viewers, average time of the viewers, average in what all days my viewers have seen my post frequently, and how far in my YouTube channel, in the YouTube studio, you can see, you know in how many hours the viewers have spent, average view time we can see, and in average, in what all days they have watched my videos, and what are the times they have engaged into my videos more. So in this kind of, there is a computing happening behind that. How that computing will get? We are using telecommunication. So usage of telecommunication and computing together, and the convergence between them, increased the linkage between banks, homes, offices, factories, shops, and educational institutions. So all these things are available in this IT field in internet now. This is the networked society. So we are using IT and internet so extensively that our society has become networked society, where the information grid links these various sites such as electrical or water supply lines did once. So just like electrical and water supplies linked together a community, just like that the networked society, the information grids, the networks, the internet, the grids, the information grids. Information grids means, see, the viewers, the gender of the viewer is a particular window in that grid, and the watch time of these viewers, it's another session in that grid. So there are various information grid available, various slots are there in that grid, information grid. So this grid will link various sites, just like electrical and water supply lines did once previous to this. Moving on, the second way of defining information society is economic. Use the economic information, then you can also define information society. The new information based society is an information economy, where the economic value can be easily placed in information. So if you have information, that can be converted into economy, that can bring some value to you, economic value to you. The third one is occupational. It pays attention to the change in nature of occupation, with the larger numbers of people being involved in information work. So here you can see a shift in occupation, that larger amount of people they have involved in information work. So in order to compute and understand and process this information, which are needed for production and the consumption of the production, to promote that product according to the proper focus upon the clients. So in that way, information is needed. So larger number of people are involved nowadays in information work. It shifts in occupation from This shift in occupation from industrial labor to desk-bound information dealers is what Daniel Bell famously described as the rise of the white-collar society. This is a quite famous phrase, white-collar society, where people are no more interested in having industrial labor or being a farmer. More than that, they wanted to have information data. They wanted to have a desktop kind of desk bound jobs, and all those kind jobs are collectively described as white collar society by Daniel Bell. The fourth way of defining information society on the basis of spatial, related to space, related to the space that we have. The emphasis here is on the networks that marks the information society. So the networks that people possess in order to have this information. John Goddard and Manuel Castells, for instance, speaks of flows of information that links towns, regions and nations. So in a town there will be a network that links. See, in Instagram, take the example, if you post a thing, then you can have the location of your viewers. So this amount of people have viewed, uh, this amount of people, they belong to this particular region, and this amount of people, they belong to another region. So you can actually uh, you know uh, tag to people those who belong to a particular region. So in that way, it can link, this network can link towns, region, a nation in a cohesive form. So John Goddard and Manuel Castells, they speak of flow of information that will link. There is a flow of information, just like a river. So it link it links towns, regions, and nations. So trans-border movements of information. Trans-border movements means cross-border movements. The movement of information across the border, from research data to speculative capital along electronic information highways, radically alter notion of territory. So because you cannot restrict the information inside your border. That's quite in a democratic country that can't happen. So trans-border movement of information, from research data to speculative capital along electronic information highways, radically alter notion of territory. So this information society, it's trans-border movement of information that will reduce, that will change. Alter means change the notion of territory, because you cannot restrict this information within that border, within the physical geographical border, but it will flow across the border. Further aligned with the information flow is the dispersion of business corporations, where the financial center and the production unit can be in different countries but wired together. So this trans-border movement of the information is also made to make the production of various things trans-border, located in different regions in the planet, on this planet, while the financial center will be fixed in a particular first world country. This also we have discussed in the previous video. See, there are there are various industries, they have plants in, factory plants of production in various third world countries. They have set up plans of their products in various third world countries, but the financial center will be their mother country. That means one of the first world country, but they have plans, production plans in various other parts of the world, most probably in third world countries. So this will happen because of the information flow. Here, if they have India was considered India was considered as a third world country. So here many first world countries, European countries, American countries, they have their plans in here, production plans, but it will get controlled by the mother plant. It will get controlled by the financial center which is situated in first world country. How will that happen? How they can control the plans that they have in the third world country? Because of this information flow. They'll collect information about the customers, about the product that they are spreading. They wanted to flood the market, and how can they customize their product according to the market that they are focusing. There will be an information flow from here to there, from the product and product unit to the financial center. So this information flow made this to happen, that there will be a financial center and a different production unit will be spreaded across the continent, across the planet, and they are wired together. They are connected together because of this information flow. Okay. The fifth point is cultural. This emphasizes the extraordinary predominance of information in everyday life, movies, radio, television, and now the internet. So, cultural way of defining information society emphasizes the extraordinary predominance, no, dominance of information in our everyday life. So, culture is everyday practice. Sum total of everyday practice is culture. Okay, so how various things are important in our everyday life. The movies, radio, television, how they are influential, the information provided by them, how they are modifying our everyday life, how they are culturally important, and how this will again bring about information society and redefine and reshapes information society. That is also need to be considered. The process of information exchange is an end in itself. So you can see that information exchange, that is itself the processing of information, the process of information exchange across the borders and between the people is an end in itself, because everybody needs information these days. It's not that you are restricted to your own cocoon of living, but you are living in a society, and this every individual in this society is wired together through this information flow. Okay, signs and images do not refer to anything or any reality outside themselves. They are self-referential. So in this information society, from the cultural point of view, there are many signs and images. They don't refer to anything. They don't refer to any reality outside themselves. They are self-referential. See, you know, a sign is relevant within a particular kind of culture. See, we are using sindoor. The married woman in India, they'll use sindoor. Why? It is culturally important to us. Culturally it will bring about some meaning to us. But those who are standing outside this cultural boundary, they don't understand this sign of putting vermilion or sindoor uh, by a woman, by a married woman in here. We have different meaning. We have meaning for that cultural sign, but they don't have, because in that cultural boundary itself, the sign and image has a meaning. Otherwise, it has no meaning. Outside this reality, there is no meaning for that sign. Because for a foreigner, it means nothing. They cannot decode any other meaning of, you putting sindoor if you are a married woman. You know, so these signs in that way they are self-referential because they don't have any other meaning outside themselves. Therefore, in the media-driven culture of today, we get a surface of science. So we have lot of science there. Outside that media-driven society, there is no meaning for that. Those who are familiar to that media, they have that meaning for that sign. Otherwise, there is no meaning. This is what the philosopher Jean Baudelaire terms hyperreality, a world of science. So hyperreality means what? There is no boundary. There is no difference between what is real and non-real. Okay, so outside the system of sign, that system, there is no meaning for that sign, and we can find surplus amount of signs because of this media driven culture. So this is what philosopher Jean Baudelaire term as hyperreality. About hyperreality, we have done a video earlier. You can refer to the video. You can refer to that video in the playlist which is available in the I button. Okay, so these points are little bit difficult to understand, but you remember the major philosophers that I am mentioning in between the video and their text and the major concept that they have put forwarded. Read and understand these lines. To post the video, you can read these points many times and you can understand, because if ever I am going to explain all these things elaborately, this will make this video unnecessarily lengthy and it can confuse you. Okay, so you yourself think and you can understand. If you wanted to have more explanation, you can ask that in the comment section, and you can use the number given below, or you can use either of the platforms or of WhatsApp or Instagram in order to reach out to me. Okay, don't forget to visit my website, and if you like this video, press the like button, and if you have not yet subscribed, subscribe to my video for having more materials relevant for your NTA UGC NET JRF exam, English language and literature preparation. Okay, that's all for now. Let me meet you in the next video session. Until then, stay tuned to High Point and be happy and strive for the best. Ta-ta, bye bye, thank you.